Welcome friends, let's take a look at finding this limit as t approaches 0 of the square root of t squared plus 4 minus 2 over t squared. The first observation is this one. If you replace t with 0, you would have 0 squared plus 4 minus 2 on the outside, and on the bottom you would have 0 squared. So this would give you, after some simplification, basically 4 minus 2 under the root symbol, 0 on the bottom. So then you would end up here with 2 minus 2 divided by 0, which is then lastly 0 divided by 0. So we're going to take this expression here and multiply by the conjugate of the numerator, so times. And here the conjugate is the same thing. The only difference is change this to a plus in the middle here. And the same thing on the bottom. It becomes the same expression. So put this on the bottom like that. And despite appearances, remember that what you see on the screen here is just the number 1. That's where you're allowed to do it. Pull this down a little bit. There's a pattern that you have to apply. You see, this is like of the form a minus b, and the top here is of the form a plus b. So maybe you remember that when you do this with a minus b times a plus b, it gives you a squared minus b squared because of the difference of squares. That same logic applies here. This part, the root of t squared plus 4 is your a, and the 2 there is your b. So it's going to look like the following at the end. The square root essentially of t squared plus 4, and this whole thing is squared, and then minus 2 squared, because 2 plays the role of b in the pattern. On the bottom you would just have t squared, and then within parentheses you put this expression right here, that square root of t squared plus 4 plus 2. Now on the top you have to simplify things a little bit. Remember that the 2 in the top and the square root symbol, those are opposites, which means you can cancel them off. In other words, this can be canceled off with the 2 in the top that way, and you then end up with the following instead of the next stage. T squared plus 4. Now negative 2 squared is negative 4, and on the bottom though, you still have that t squared with the rest of it. In the top, the negative 4 and the positive 4 right here will cancel off like that, leaving only basically t squared, and then on the bottom you still have your t squared from before, and the rest of it this way. Remember, in the top, t squared is really t squared times 1, which means whatever this is can be cancelled with the t squared on the bottom this way, and that leaves lastly as your expression 1 over the square root here of t squared plus 4 and then plus 2. The rest of this can now be done through direct substitution, so the limit as t approaches 0, the expression gets replaced with this new expression that looks like the following: 1 over the square root of t squared plus 4 and then plus 2. And do it with direct substitution, so it's going to be 1 over the square root of 0 squared plus 4 and then plus 2. You're going to have the following, so 1 over the square root of 4 plus 2, and of course the square root of 4 is just 2, so it's 2 plus 2, which means the final result is 1 over 4. This is the answer. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.